Hello? No? Hello? Yeah, it works. All right, good morning everyone. So the agenda or the thing that we are going to do today is yesterday Junji, Hussein, they have gone through the setup of how you are scoring in the qualification, what happens in the qualification, and now after you have your qualification and elimination matches on the simultaneous shoot, we move for most of the world ranking events. We now have a finals field separate where we are doing the final shoot. The final shoot is a little bit different. The entire procedure is a little bit different. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already seen that. So how do we do it on the finals field, and what our responsibilities as a judge is what I will try to cover in this one. So what's the difference between the finals and the qualification or the elimination matches is the most important part is the finals. I mean, whatever ends well on a very high or a good note, any mistakes that has been done in qualification, everything is forgotten about. So as long as you are able to, have a very good show in the last 2 days of the finals, everything is good. The event is a great success. And to do that, what we need to do is we have a choreography, because it's more of a show than a normal judging procedure or an archery procedure that we want to follow. What we are trying to achieve now is what we are doing in World Archery, or what we have been able to, or the point that we have been able to reach at World Archery for the finals. We want to copy the same thing for the continental events. The continental judges perform in the same level. So we have a same balance, a uniformity in the way we are doing all international events. That's our target to achieve, and that's why I'm going to focus on how we do it in World Archery, and we can replicate the same thing in World Archery Asia as well. So why am I saying it's choreography? The last 2 days are important because you have a lot of TV, you have a lot of media coverage. So everything needs to be synced, everything needs to look like they're working with each other. And when I say they're working with each other, it's the judge. And when I say judge, we have a line judge and a target judge, the scorers connected with the scoring team, the results team who are there. Then you have the DOS and the events director and everyone. So the entire thing needs to work as a well-oiled machine, and everyone needs to work in sync. We will cover in this section the things that we are doing from a judge's perspective. So the first section we will cover is what do we do as line judges? How should we behave? What are the things that we need to look at when we are doing the lines? We will have the practical when we go to the field, but this will give you some idea on how it's done or how it should be done on the field. And after we have done the line judge, we will then go to what are the actions that the target judge needs to remember, how we are synchronizing the entire thing, that part. Now, to start with, the first thing, even before the match starts, our duty as a judge begins from there. Has everyone done line judging at any point in time? Maybe a nationals, maybe everyone? Yes? Okay, perfect. So we all know that when we are doing the line judge, even before going to the field of play, there will be a waiting area. The teams or the individual athletes will be brought to the waiting area 15 minutes, half an hour before the match starts. So when you are in the waiting area, the first thing for me as a judge to check is, once the athletes are handed over to me, I need to check the archers, who is highest ranked. Normally you will get a sheet from World Archery with the matches named, or World Archery Asia with the matches named, or the teams or the individuals named, and their qualification rank mentioned in it. The higher placed athlete, that person gets to decide who will start the match. As a judge, why is it important for me? Because when I'm going there, first of all, I need to remember who is starting the match. In case if there is a tie in the middle of the shooting sequence, 2-2 or 4-4, I need to remember who started the match, because that person is going to shoot first. Normally what I do is I use my handkerchief on either my left pocket or right pocket, depending on who is telling me who is going to shoot first? We have many other techniques. Someone uses their watch on the wrist, which target is going to shoot first. Someone uses a pen. For women, some of the women uses their hair bands on the wrist. It's up to you to figure out what suits you best, but the idea is to make sure you have a marker just in case if you forget or if you confuse, you can just touch your pocket or touch your arm and you remember quickly who is going to shoot first. So make sure you are putting some marker using your body by which you can easily identify who is going to start the shoot next. Now, once you have that, the next thing to check, which is not mentioned here, and this is a new interpretation, I think that came last year as well, there is a rule now which says the athletes or the teams, they need to be present for alternate shooting during the sequence of deciding who is going to shoot first. And by present, they need to be also there with all their equipments ready to go and shoot. Meaning, if I have an archer who does not have his or her bow or they don't have their arrows, it is not considered as a go-ahead for the match. When we are going to start the match, if they are still not ready, then this will be treated as a forfeit. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay. Do
you know what a forfeit means?
Yes.
Yes? No.
Okay. Forfeit means that athlete will not be allowed to go and shoot. He will, the opponent, maybe the athlete or the team, that team will be declared the winner. That's forfeit. Basically, you will not be allowed to participate. The other person will win. Now, for simultaneous shooting, I know we are talking alternate, but for simultaneous shooting, the rule says when the first set starts, if the other athlete is not present or is not ready to shoot, then it is a forfeit. For alternate shooting, it is when the sequence is decided. If the other athlete or the team is not present, then it is a forfeit. Yes? Cool. If we are going for a forfeit, remember this, like I was highlighting, it has got many different stakeholders or many different areas of impact. The results team, the DOS, most importantly, the media. So if this kind of a situation happens, inform your chair right then and there, because the chair will then need to talk to the event director, the TD, or the broadcasting team, the production house, to ensure that we are not going to shoot, but how we can cover the media time at that point. That's why it's important. Clear? Everyone is sleeping.
I think the room temperature, we can get it colder if you want.
Yeah, it's a little bit hot, so yeah.
So let me just ask a question again. So in the finals, I have a question myself.
Yeah, sure.
In the finals, when we have alternate, this is a question for me as well. In the finals, when we have alternate shooting, in according to what we say, when the archers are brought in by the marshals, at that time, when we want to know who shoots first or second, this is when you're referring to the forfeit. If the archer is not present, yeah. But how about the equipment at that moment?
Yeah, so that's why I was saying, like, when you are getting ready, the archers needs to be present. When we are going to start the match, going to the field, they have to be ready with their equipments. Now, the gap between that is very less, let's say 5 minutes. If they say, oh, and this actually happened in, I think it was in Mediterranean Games. Yeah, I think it was Mediterranean Games. The practice field was nearby, thankfully, and the archer left all his arrows in the practice field. They came to the finals call room, and then the archer said, oh, I don't have my equipments. The chair there said, like, okay, quickly go and get it, and they were able to get all the equipments I think 2 minutes before they were about to enter. But in such cases, let's say the practice field was not nearby and it took you 10 minutes by car to go there and get your equipments. Are you able to hold it? The answer is no. A question that comes over here is, but if I'm doing recurve, an athlete can say, okay, I'm not going to shoot the first set or the first 2 sets, but I know I will win after winning the next 3 sets. Can be, but what we are trying to achieve here is uniformity of rules, and while this can apply for recurve, this cannot be applied for compound. Hence, to have uniformity as well as to have archers becoming more responsible for their equipments and managing them properly, the decision is, if you do not have all your equipments with you when you are going in, you will not be allowed to enter and it will be a forfeit. Now, as a judge, I will not wait till the last moment to inform my chair. If I see a situation where they do not have their equipment when I am discussing about who is going to start fast, I will take that opportunity, take that time to inform my chair, so he can have the time to coordinate with the rest of the team and already have a plan B in place. In case if this does not work out, we know what needs to be done. Because think of it this way, you are waiting for the equipments to come, it does not come, and you are going out there in the field. The marshal says you are clear to go in the field. How are you going to inform the chair? And then how is the chair going to have enough time to coordinate with the DOS, the results team, the production team? So there are many different stakeholders that he or she needs to go and talk to. Use the time, and that's where I always harp on this. Use your common sense on figuring out, if I was the chair, what are the things that I would have done, how much time I would have needed for that. That way you will see you are able to, sync or work in a more collaborative manner with the entire group, as not just judges, but as a part of the broader choreography team that you will start understanding. Questions? No? Yes? Okay. Yes?
If the athletes or team don't have their equipment, so do they allowed to enter the FOP or they don't?
They are not allowed to enter the FOP. So
Only the team with the equipment enter.
no, so that's why the entire process over there will be handled in a very different way. The chair of the judges will talk with the TD, the events director, the media broadcasting team who are there, and then they will figure out how best to handle that. Of course, we are not going to send one team over there and they stand there getting introduced while the next target is empty, right? Doesn't make sense. So we will figure out how we can best handle it, most likely maybe with some advertisements or taking a break in the media, something like that. But that will have to be discussed by the chair with the production team and figured out like what's the production setup there at that point in time and accordingly. And that's why I'm saying these things you need to go and talk. It takes time. Rather than waiting for the last moment when you are sending the team inside, if you see the team does not have their equipment at the beginning, you will have 10 minutes before the next match, the previous match finishes, and then you have your sequence to go in, right? At least 10 to 15 minutes before the teams will be there in the call room. So if you see the teams are not having their entire equipment, inform the chair right then. So the chair has time to coordinate everything behind. Yeah? Cool. All right. Any other questions? No. Perfect. So yeah, informing the archers about their target assignments and then figuring out who shoots first, because though the marshals will tell them, okay, you are in target 1, you are in target 2, but sometimes if the marshal misses that out, it's our job to tell them where they are going to shoot, because depending on the target assignment, they are going to stand when the introduction is going to happen. Now, once this part is done in the call room, then we normally follow a sequence where we have the line judge and depending on which side of the field you are entering the venue, the further target coach, the closer target coach. So let's say we are entering from the left side of the field, then I will have the line judge, then target 2, because target 2 will be on the other side. So you have target 2 coach and then target 1 coach. You will be given a cue like, okay, 3, 2, 1, now it's time to go in, and then you walk inside the field. Normally what I do is I try to see during the rehearsal the night before or the same day before the start of the session, what I try to do is I try to figure out what's the right path to walk in, because there will be cameras in different positions and then there will be markings, maybe the logos or something is printed on the floor that you don't want to get dirty. So what I prefer to do is before the match starts or before the session starts, I always take a walk in the morning trying to see the layout. And sometimes what I have seen is the easiest way is you enter the field and then follow the straight line which is taped down. So it gives you a straight line to walk, and then you walk on a straight line and go and stand in the shooting line or on the shooting line right in the center between the two targets. Clear? Right. The sequence that's normally followed for announcements, which we have done so far, is the judge goes in, the coaches goes in, and then there is a pause. There is an introduction of the team or the individual athlete, and then target 2 archer and then target 1 archer will come in. There might be a little bit of a difference for World Cups or World Championships in the finals this year. There is a discussion going on where they introduce the teams beforehand. So even before all these things happen, the third point where I have put that light icon, the introduction of the archers, that might happen all together at the beginning of the session, and then there will be just matches. So they will not have any introduction in between, like I have mentioned. That thing can happen at the World Championship. We are still discussing, we don't know about it, but that's a small change which can happen. In case, if we think of the rest of the events, the rest of the tournaments, how this normally happens is, once I am called, I will go and stand there in the middle, and normally what I do or what I prefer to do is, as I walk in, so let's say I walk into the field, I go there, stand in the shooting line, and we will be facing the cameras, and then let's assume the archers are walking from this side. I have my hand gestures to show when target 2 is coming, target 2, target 1. This kind of feels, or this kind of gives the sense that we are not there just to stand and be a statue, but we also are part of the broader show, and we are also involved in the entire match process. As well as we are the ones who are responsible for the event, and we are the ones who are in control of the match. This sets the tone over there itself. We are trying to help everyone without giving them undue advantage. So what we are doing is target 2, target 1, a simple hand gesture, and that tells the media that yes, we are there to help them. That tells the archer, yes, we are there to help them. Sometimes, yes, of course, you have elite athletes who are doing this all throughout, and hence they are all aware of this entire sequence. But you will also get athletes who do not have these kind of facilities in their home. So they are doing this for the first time. So definitely doing these gestures also helps them to navigate and follow the flow smoothly. Yes? Questions? Yes, no, all right. Okay, so now once the archers have come in, so target 2, target 1, and then we call them to the shooting line for the introduction. The cameras normally are on the back. If they're on the front, you just stand facing the cameras, and then the way I prefer doing it is, archers, please, and a quick hand gesture to show like you need to move forward and stand on the shooting line for the introduction. Normally they will be aware of this entire sequence, but sometimes it so happens like they are not aware, like I was saying, so they will either be waiting in the in the archer's box, or sometimes it so happens like they are taking too much time to settle down and put their equipments down. So this gesture of athletes please also helps you keep the pace of the tournament together, because delay that starts from the introduction, it keeps on rolling down, and we know final matches are very tightly scheduled all throughout. So it's us who are in control of the speed or the pace at which we are running the event. I'm not saying rush the athletes. If the athletes are not ready, push them through. It's not that. But the idea is, if I see there is a scope to push the process and make things faster, we do that. We try to make the event as smooth but as fast as possible, because media time, showing empty on the field without any action, does not look good on TV. Now I know I'm harping a lot on TV because the way we are moving forward is we are integrating production and choreography with our judging as well. We are trying to make it as one unit and move forward from there. So just have your common sense on, if I see an athlete just settling down and then standing there or relaxing or taking more time, we push them forward. But if it's actually genuinely they need time, then we keep it there. Now this introduction happens only for the first time, and then as we go to the next event. Question? No, okay. Now as we go for the next ends, this sequence will not be repeated. Now once the archers are ready, so athletes please, we have got 2 archers. You have your introduction for archer 1, you have your introduction for archer 2, and then maybe the line judge, not the target, but just the line judge. The line judge will be introduced. Ensure if you are wearing a cap, just take a small step forward, take your cap off, a bow, and you are back. You don't need to bend over, fall down like that. A small bow is more than enough. We don't need to wave to the, like you will see the athletes waving to the crowd and cheering. We don't need to do any of that thing. It's not for us. An introduction and a simple nod and acknowledgement of that is all that we are looking to have. So yes, come back, and athletes, please get ready. This again, like I was saying, pushing the archers without wasting time, because you will see the athletes are standing there, they're clapping, they're cheering, they will be talking to you guys. So yes, let's get ready, let's push forward. That's why we do that sequence. We do not initiate any handshake or any best of luck or pleasantry with the athletes unless and until they are doing it. Sometimes it gets awkward if the athletes are trying to shake your hand and you are like, no, I can't do it because I am a judge. That looks very, very awkward on camera. You do not initiate, but if someone is extending their hand, yes, do shake hand. Think of it, what will look normal, what will look natural, and follow that process rather than trying to follow the rule word by word, which might end up making some awkward movements from your side. Yes? Okay. Now, once we are done, we are sending the athletes back. Archers, please get ready. They go back, they are setting up their bows, talking to their coaches, the final setup. As a judge, my next thing is, sorry, I forgot one thing much before, which was before, when we are entering the field of play, we do need to radio to the DOS who is going to start the match. That needs to be sent over. Now, once we have sent the archers back now, the next thing that I am doing is I now stand on the shooting line looking towards the target, and remember the watch or the handkerchief in my pocket, so I just check which one was going to start the shoot, and basis that the clock which is out there, there will be a red indicator flashing to show this is the target which is going to start the shoot. If my handkerchief matches with that or my watch matches with that, I know I am good. If I don't see the flickers are matching with the target I have as a marker, I radio the DOS, target line judge to DOS, target 1 is going to start the shoot. I see target 2's clock is blinking. Just a small communication with the DOS to ensure the right target set, the right clock setup is there. Now, things that I see at that point in time, the field is clear. The right indicator is flipping. The time, it's 10 seconds. I will not be able to see whether it's 30 seconds, 20 seconds, or what time is on the clock. So at least the 10 seconds is there when they have to move. The nameplates and the indicators, that's empty. And the right teams are in the right side of the target. So the entire check is done by that time. Once that's done, I turn to the archers, check with the archers. Archers ready, and wait for a nod. Normally what will happen is when you ask them, archers ready, they will give you a nod saying, yes, I am ready. Sometimes they might not be ready, so wait for 1 or 2 seconds for them to get ready. Maybe they're putting up their slings or setting up the bow or getting the arrows ready. Just wait for a second if you don't get that nod. 1, 2. Are you ready now? Again, the idea is push, but not push them too much. Yes, they are ready. We have the nod from both the archers or both the teams that, yeah, they are good to start. So I stand, have a sweeping look quickly. Everything is fine. Look at the DOS. Now, sometimes you will have a visual look of the DOS. Sometimes you may not be able to have a look at the DOS. Like in Paris, the DOS was like sitting on a 4-storied building, and there was no way we could see them visually. So it was always the judge looking or trying to see look at the mirror and trying to figure out what's the window where the DOS is sitting, and then he would give, then that archer, the judge would give target 2 shoots first or target 1 shoots first, looking at the camera, and then looking at the DOS, start the match. Now, when we show start the match, the first thing that I am expecting is a visual confirmation from the DOS. But the situation that I said in Paris, it was on top of a 4-story building kind of a situation. So we were never able to get that. How do you manage those things? That's a communication between the DOS and the line judge that we have. The DOS radios back, confirmed, or I see you, a small statement, but that's already decided in the morning meeting how they are going to communicate with each other. Now that the DOS has seen and confirmed your signal, you walk back to your marked position. There.
So something I've seen on the Asian events, 2 things. The first one, when you inform the DOS, when do you inform the DOS that target 1 shoots first? You only do that when the last match has finished, you hear that the results are confirmed, and then you say target 1 shoots first. So when the DOS is in the middle of a match, your people are there ready, you don't say target 1 is shooting first. And you wait for, when they're exchanging on the radio, target 1, blah, blah, he's going to go to that. You don't come into the voice. But what I've seen on Asian events, the most important thing is eye contact that he says, if you are giving start and you've made that contact or not, if you don't hear the beep, you don't let go and leave them.
Yes, we definitely can do that. Like target 1 shoots first, target 2 shoots second, or target 2 shoots first, target 1 shoots second. It's a good process, definitely. And I mean, I was having it later on, like for the next set onwards. We will be talking about that. But yeah, if you want to do it in the first set also, it's absolutely good to tell or inform the teams or the archers, like you shoot first, you shoot second. Reduces the confusion of them on who is going to shoot first and all. Now, I was going to come to the next point that Hussein was talking about. So what happened at Paris was, because of this difference of or the distance between the two people, once they were showing the hand, there were 2 occasions when I remember clearly, the radios were jammed and the judges were not able to get that confirmation back from the DOS whether they have received the hand signal or not. In those cases, you count for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you don't stand there as a statue, like, yes, I will stand like this until and unless I hear the noise or the confirmation. Count 5 and then take a step back. By the time you are taking a step back, you will, what Hussein was saying, you will hear the buzzers come in. If you don't hear the buzzers come in, the radios are open by then. Try to communicate with the DOS. Is everything okay? I did not hear your confirmation. If there is still no confirmation, stop and hold the line. The archers will be very close to you, and seeing you stepping backward, they might try, and might, not always, they might try to jump in. That's where our actions as judges become important, and we tell them, hold on, wait back. You want to say something? No, that's okay. So hold on, stay back. As judges, it is important for us, like I was mentioning, always to be in control for that. There were situations where the judge showed the arm, the DOS confirmed, and as the judge was walking back, they gave a single beep, 2 beeps with the 10 seconds down, and within 5 seconds, there were 3 beeps or multiple buzzers which came out. As a judge, I don't go back to the position of the judge marked and then again come back. If I hear something which is not right, I jump in and I pull them back. I pull the archers back. Sorry. While doing this, what I prefer, and again, sometimes this people say is dangerous and all, if you are confident that you can walk back easily while looking at the clocks, I prefer doing that. While I am walking back, I am always having a back look to see the buzzers that were sounded, the clock that's counting down, and the green light which is coming up. They're on the right targets or not. Working in multiple things at the same time is needed when you are doing the line judging. When I'm walking back, I'm still looking at the clocks. I'm still having a sense of what's happening down there on the field. When I'm looking for the line crossing, I am having that clarity on who is crossing over, if the arrows are out or not, which is happening over here. But I am also having a view of the clock with the peripheral vision to know if the clock has switched between the two teams or not. You have to be able to do multitasking, and you can't be focused on just one task when you're doing the line judging thing. Making sense? Okay. Okay. Now we have moved back and we have now started the match. The clock goes to 20 seconds, green light. I see both the archers starting to shoot the arrow, which should not be the case. Yes? If I see this kind of a situation where both the athletes have started to draw their bow, I will not stop both the athletes. I will stop the athlete for whom it's not their turn to shoot. Understand the difference. It's not a mechanical error of the clock or any fault of the targets, and hence we are not holding the match off. If it was a problem with the clock or the target phase, we would have hold the entire line and ask both of the athletes to come back. Because there is a concept which goes like, oh, if I see there's 20 seconds on target B, but A and B both are drawing the bow, I will jump and say stop and pull both of them back. No, it's archer B's time to shoot the arrow. It's the normal sequence. A is breaking the rule, so I will intervene only with A. In this case, if B was getting ready to shoot and the clock goes black or the target falls over for B, then I ask both A and B to come out. Or if the same thing happens for A is not there in the match, but A's clock goes black, I will still stop both of them and ask them to come back. Making sense? Yes? Okay. One?
So this is actually what happened 3 weeks ago in an Asian event. Don't be hesitate to stop the match. Sometimes you intervening fast, I was telling you, can prevent a lot of problems. Okay? It will look bad. So it can happen. We can have electric problems. We can have archers shooting on the wrong sequence. And we always have problem with archers or teams that come up the first time. So it is important for you, when I say be focused, think negative. What can go wrong? Okay? You are there to prevent things. And what happened 3 or 4 weeks ago, our judge, he stopped the wrong thing. And it was on the TV and it doesn't look good, okay? So you have to be focused when you're there. You look at the timing, you look at the archer, you have to have that eye contact with DOS, many things to do, and the sound, okay? So that stopping the match, if something happens to the face or whatever, you are controlling. And when you're stopping the match, you have to go and stay in the front, as he said, to keep the arches back. Okay?
Cool. Now, while this is happening, for individuals, what I was mentioning is fine. The difference that happens when we are thinking of a team event is, even when the 10 seconds have run down, I am still not, as an archer, I am still not moving forward. It's not till the 120 seconds or 80 seconds starts that the athletes will not cross the 1 meter line, which means if I am going for a team event, all the athletes will be standing here during that 10 seconds. I am able to walk over the shooting line and then go across and stand here. And this will help not to hit the archers over here, but have a clear path to walk down. Similarly, when the shooting is over, when I have to go and stand in the front, which I was saying, it's easy to cross the team from behind and then move forward and stand. So it's kind of a box that we are following. The difference with the individual is, for individual, when you have the 10 seconds, they will start moving forward and go towards the shooting line. So if I am walking through the shooting line, I will be hitting the archers. So for individual, it's more of a straight line down and side, and then the same thing repeating here again. Now, in case, while returning back after shooting has finished, if we see the athlete, like this is the last archer, this archer has already finished shooting and he's standing over here, it's not a mandate I have to follow this line. I can then go and cross the archer from the front and then go and stand in the middle. Depending on the archer's position, we decide how we want to move in the field of play. Yes? Clear? Okay. All right. Huh?
The bus is ready whenever you come to 10:30. We have a lot
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Now, so after the new rule where the wait line is 3 meters.
This is for the finals. This has got nothing to do with the 3 meter, 7 meter thing. These are the final fields. That's for the qualification round.
So another question. You were saying that you're doing the alternate. Say the target B was supposed to shoot, but the target A also comes and raises the bow, and you said you need to call the target A back. Won't it panic the target B in a gesture?
So, okay, you don't need to shout all the time. If you think it's easy to go step forward and then interact with the athletes or the coaches or the managers, you are free to do it. Do not, or try to avoid doing something that can create panic and confusion amongst the other archers, but as calmly possible, as normally possible, we can clear the situation. That's what our task. So if you think you can just jump in, go and talk, hey, hold, come back, it's absolutely fine. Similarly, when we are talking about this part, and if it's team event, one of the most important parts for team event is the yellow card situation we will talk about later on. For the yellow card, if it's the team 1 or target 1 and you are standing here, giving a yellow card becomes problematic. Move towards the center. Of course, I'm not saying disturb these athletes, but move towards the center, which gives you a clearer view of the crossing for target 1, as well as when you are showing the red card, because, or yellow card, the coaches will be standing behind you. So if you are standing here and you are showing the yellow card, the coach behind you can easily spot what you are showing. You are free to move in and out from the boxes as per your requirement. Our job is to conduct the match. It's not our job to stand there and be a statue. So if we need to move to ensure a better, a better duty performance from our side, no one is stopping you. Of course, that doesn't mean I will move around all the time. I will not be showing them like, you know, I am calm, composed, but I'm jumping all around. No, that's not what we want. But that also doesn't mean I am there just as a statue because people told me I'm not supposed to move. No, we are judges. We have a specific duty to do, and whatever we need to do to achieve the success of our duty, we are entitled to do that. That should be ingrained in us. That should be coming with confidence to us. Like if I am moving, I move with confidence. It's not like I'm scared to move around because someone told me, oh, as a judge, I need to be just on that one position. No. Yes? Cool. Now, the team event, because I was talking about the team event. Now that I am standing at the corner, the specifics of team event is I need to watch for the yellow card. What are the 3 yellow card situations that we have? Anyone? Yes?
Out of sequence, out of
Out of sequence, yellow card.
Two athletes of a team be in a 1 meter.
Across the
Two athletes
Hold on, yeah.
of a team across one be in the 1 meter area at the same time. The release of the compound hook on the string before across 1 meter and the arrow.
Point out of quiver, yeah. So there are three situations which we are looking out for. One, crossing the 1 meter line before the other athlete has come out, or while crossing I have the point outside from my quiver, or if I have my, for compound, my release head on the string of the bow. While doing that, for the first crossing or for the first athlete, if the athlete, the 10 seconds are counting down in the clock, the first athlete, instead of waiting, moves in. Nothing. Okay. Anyone else? Call them back. Okay. Anyone else?
Come back.
Okay. So yes, come back is the right answer, but there is a caveat to it. If someone is moving, let's say 4 seconds left, someone is moving inside. You ask them to come back. They don't come back. They start drawing the bow. They shoot the arrow after the 120 seconds, the first buzzer has gone down. How do you manage the penalty? For what? You did not show the yellow card. So you did not show the yellow card. So how do you give the red card? What's the penalty you are applying? Can I get water? Yeah, go on. Go on. Someone, anyone. What's the penalty? And if we are saying it's red card, how do we apply the red card? Or what do we apply the red card for? Yes, show the red card, but what's the penalty?
Judge experience about this
There is no rule around judge explaining things and then showing red card. So this is why I was saying like why it's important to be in charge. Yes, we ask them to come back. In case if they're still not coming back, the first action is the yellow card goes up. If they're still not coming back and they're shooting after 120 seconds, the first buzzer has gone down, then you can show the red card because it's a time advantage they have received. Unless and until you show that yellow card, and because I know we have been saying like, do we need to show the yellow card because they are going before the 120 seconds. It's the match or the sequence has not started. So we should be calling them back. Yes, we should be calling them back, but to understand the implication and to apply the penalty after the 120 seconds, you need to have that yellow card in that 10 seconds period. Else you can't give a red card after the 120 seconds. They are not shooting before time, they are shooting after time. So you can't give the red card by saying you had time advantage or you shot out of time. The time advantage penalty is the yellow card. So we ask them, hey, come back. If they don't listen, then to be able to get that red card, we give the yellow card and call out the name of the team. Yes? Clear? Yes. Okay. When you are calling the name of the team, hand goes high, not like this, or be clear in your positioning. So hand goes high up, as much visible as possible, and call out the name of the team clearly. If you are not able to pronounce the name of the team, target 1 or target 2, there is no problem with that. If they are not acknowledging your card, again with a louder voice, target 1 or target 2. This does not mean, and of course when we are giving it, make sure the coach and the team, they can see your arm if you are raising it. It's not like, and that's why I was talking about this, if you are standing here and you are trying to give it for target 1, it becomes difficult for these people to be able to see your arm. So make sure where you are standing when giving this yellow card, they can see you and acknowledge you. Call it once, call it twice. If they acknowledge it, good. If they don't, take a step forward and show it. Now, take a step forward does not mean the coach is there and you have to be right on the coach's face and like, you know, push it, shove it up their face. No, it's not that. But moving a little bit forward or backward to make sure that your arm and the card is visible to the athletes is what you need to be aware of. Yes? All right. Okay. Slides. All right, cool. Yeah.
When you said target 1, so if we have Korea, which happens a lot, that's what you were saying. Just remember that. You could say target 1.
It's yellow card. You will not have a Korea and Korea in a yellow card. I'm still in yellow card.
Oh, sorry.
That's the red card you are talking about for individuals. I'll come to that later.
So, when you were saying you said to me, you're doing something a little quiet when you want to try to keep them back. So, when you're being in control, it's always the best to prevent. Obviously, as he says, not touching that, but you have to make yourself visible that, hey, something is wrong. Don't go forward. I would rather see you preventing than going and showing the red card. That is a good judge. When I say focus and be fast. Okay, so, okay, outside.
Yeah, no worries. So now you have given a yellow card, and this happens very often. You have shown a yellow card. The team, let's say it's a very new team from Angola, just for the sake of it. They don't remember, they don't know what they need to do. They are standing there, you said yellow card, they're standing there looking at you. What do I do? Be a teacher, exactly, be a teacher and tell them, come out and then go in. Now when they're going in, if let's say it's for the arrow out of quiver and they don't know what they're doing, explain to them. Of course, explain does not mean like an elaborate process of A, B, C, no. Just, oh, thank you. So explain to them that target 1, move out, arrow back in quiver, move in. Short, straight 3 steps or short, straight 2 steps. Come out, go back in if it's just a problem with the crossing. We have had situation, and this happens more on the youth side as well, where a team, and it was Team USA, they had to move out and in 4 times. 4 times in a row. Thankfully, they won the match. They did not complain about it. But the judge was, and it was an Asian judge, so that was a great thing. She just went, Team USA, yellow card. They had the arrow in their hand. They didn't realize what they were doing. They came back, and then they went in again. Team USA, yellow card. The coach was looking at us like, what's going on? And she was, after the third one, she was like, arrow, arrow. And then the archer decided to throw the arrow and then move in. So it took them 4 times to realize what was wrong. So if you see something which is not getting corrected after twice, thrice, help, I will not say help, direct or advise the team. We are not allowed to help one team because then the other team will of course object. But for the sake of running things smoothly, if you see things are not falling in place, you are allowed to advise and guide and be a teacher. That's our fundamental principle. Yes? Great. Yes.
Like you say, the team, new team like Angola, right? Okay. Is it possible for the marshal to help them first?
Okay, no, good point. So, as a judge, if you think, and initially I used to do it, but now given the circuit or the structure that we are in, and it's the same set of athletes who are coming in, and I don't judge that much anymore. So, well, I don't judge as a judge, I am a chair more of the time, just a correction. So, what I prefer my judges do is if they have some new teams or new athletes coming in, it's not the job of the marshal to manage the field. When I say field, I mean the match. We are the ones who are in charge. It's always good to go and talk with the team or the coach or the athletes, explain to them how we are going to run the process. Now, again, when I'm saying explain to them, I'm not telling you run through the entire sequence, run through the entire process in detail, no, because they also have stress of how they're going to perform in the match, right? We don't want to break that. Just a quick, hey, you know what? If I show you the yellow card, just come back, put the arrows back and go in. Or if you violate the yellow card, you will get a red card. Things like that, small steps, how I want to run it, just that, without adding additional stress on them. It's absolutely fine to do that. Yeah. Okay. I spoke about the yellow card. Yes. Now, when I am looking at the crossing of the athletes, the thing that I was talking about, multiple things needs to happen. As I am looking for the archers crossing over and their quivers, this is in the shooting line. The clocks are down there. I will always prefer to position myself in such a way that I can see the crossing, as well as through my peripheral vision, I am aware if something is going wrong down the field. The targets can blow over, people might jump in, or the clock can go blank. If the clock goes blank and I am looking at the crossing and I am not focusing on the clock changeovers that happened, I will not be able to understand clearly whether it was a violation of time or not. And this happens most of the time when you are doing the switch after the first sequence to the other team. So when you are looking and focusing, you have to have your peripheral vision active to ensure that you are also able to, I'm not saying read the clock, but I'm saying at least some movement which is happening, which tells your brain that yes, there's a changeover happening. It takes a little bit of a practice, but that's something we definitely need to be aware. And this at world archery level also, when I'm talking with a lot of my judges, they do say, oh, I'm just focusing on the line. I'm just trying to see the changeover. No. While my eyes are here, but my peripheral vision has to be active for the rest of the field. Making sense? Yes? Okay. Cool. Nothing? Which will come next year. Not this year, but next year. And it's under discussion that we are having. Normally, if you guys remember, what the rule says is both people have to have their foot down on the ground. Unless and until you have both your foot, the foot of both the archers in the 1 meter line, it is not a violation. Yes? There's a slight change which is coming. The intent as we see of this rule changing is to avoid time advantage. We are saying it's not going to be just the foot on the 1 meter line, but the whole intent of crossing the 1 meter line that's going to come in. It's a new, yes, it's a new change which is going to come, and we are discussing how best to apply this, but this is not happening this year. This is going to happen from next year if it happens. But just keeping you guys aware, what that means is now that we are looking for the foot, it's not going to be that, but anyone, it more becomes a 3-dimensional line, like the 3-meter line, and anyone crossing over with the intent of going in, even before the other archer has come out, will mean a yellow card situation. Making sense? Okay. For exams, don't write this, because exams are on the existing rules, and that's 1 meter. You have the foot in the 1 meter line.
I just want to ask about the equipment.
Uh-huh.
Suppose the archer behind the 1 meter line is standing along with the equipment and his long stabilizer is crossing the 1 meter.
That doesn't matter. It's the intent of the archer which is now in question. So if I am putting my stabilizer over there, it's absolutely fine. But if I am moving forward, it's the motion of moving and crossing which is going to count. Cool. All right. Now, sorry? Okay. For the stabilizers being inside of, no. If you have your stabilizers inside the 1 meter line, there is no verbal warning for that. That's absolutely fine. You may want, and I'm coming to that sequence in a bit, the verbal warning part. For team event, during the practice session, what I definitely suggest all the judges is the match which you are assigned to, there will be 2 or 3 ends of practice before, not for the finals, but for simultaneous shooting. You will have 2 or 3 ends of practice. Go and stand there and see how the teams are doing. If you see one of the team being very close to the 1 meter line, this kind of situation, or have the stabilizers inside, feel free to go and have a chat with the coach. You don't need to approach the archers. Just go and have a chat with the coach. Hey, you know what, I was just looking at it. It's not a warning or anything because it's just practice. But I just thought I will let you know, like, you know, your archers are really very close and cutting it thin. It shows that, yes, we are preparing, we are in control, and we are there to help the archers or help the teams. It sets a positive image of the judge for that team. You will see most of the time the coach asking you, is that a warning or is that a yellow? Oh no, I just saw it. I was here to check how they are performing. So if there is anything I can tell you, so no warning or anything, I just thought I will discuss with you so you can tell your archers, like, be a bit careful. Have that conversation. Most of the time they will come back with a, hey, thanks for letting us know. And they will tell their archers, hey, keep it clean. Makes your life easier, because when you are running the match, you will see they're always respecting that and they're standing a meter behind. It's always good to have that kind of a conversation with them beforehand, which makes our lives easier. Helps? Yes? Okay. Now coming to the 1 meter line, on the specific question of, yeah, they started it, yeah. So on the 1 meter line, there's a specific question. An archer moves forward with the arrow out of quiver. Then they decide to throw it off and take another arrow out. Do you give a red card or do you just continue with it? So an archer crosses the 1 meter line with the arrow out of quiver. You have given a yellow card. They throw that arrow, grab another arrow from their quiver. An archer goes in with the arrow out of quiver. You give a yellow card. They throw that arrow and pick another arrow out of their quiver. Okay, yes. Good that everyone has that consciences, because there have been situations where our judges have said, like, because, well, they did not get the time advantage, of course, because they threw that arrow and took another arrow out of the quiver, so they did not get that time advantage, but we want uniformity of application of the rule. So we always say if you have a yellow card, you have to, yes, you're showing the guidebook. You're showing the guidebook. Yes? Yeah, you're showing the guidebook. Anything? Nothing? Okay. All right. I was thinking there's something else written on the guidebook. All right. So because we want to achieve uniformity, so we have to come back for any yellow card given, we have to come back behind the 1 meter line and go in. Now let's assume a situation where the athlete goes in before the first athlete has come out, and I have the arrow also outside my quiver. So how many yellow cards am I going to give? Some are saying 2. Who is saying 2? I want to see the 2s. Okay, yeah, cool. It's going to be just 1 yellow card because yes, you are shooting, like there are 2 penalties. Both the penalties needs to be corrected before going in, but it's not like team 1 yellow card, team 1 yellow card. Sounds funny. Yeah. Questions? Any more on the sequence?
Sir, the judge showed the yellow card, but actually it was not a violation. And the player was very much sure about that, and he showed the arrow. So he will get a red card. So can he apply for that?
No, yellow cards are not appealable. Now you can appeal against the red card. The problem is the red card is given against a yellow card. So you can never go back and appeal a yellow card. So if you have a yellow card, you will have to always respect that.
So you do say it.
Yeah. Question? No? No. Yeah.
So when crossing the archers, showed a yellow card. So only the archer had lowered the arrow, and he came out with the arrow. Then he went in with the arrow on the bow.
On the bow. So the violation is not for coming out of the shooting line with an arrow outside of your quiver. The violation is for going in with the arrow out of your quiver. So if you are coming out with the arrow in your hand or arrow in your bow, not a problem. You can come out like that, and after you come out, you can correct it and then go in. It's all good. There is no.
You have to keep the arrow.
When going in, before going in, they need to correct it.
That was not the violation we have given, right? He already went in, the crossing was done, then only he took the arrow and loaded.
Yes.
Then only he known to have the yellow card is there.
Yes.
Come back directly.
Yes.
With the arrow.
Yes.
Then what you have to do? You have to take the arrow,
Keep it in the quiver and then go in. Yes. All right. Now, no further questions on this, I hope, right? Okay. Yes.
Moment, just to make sure. Regarding the situation you gave just now, if an archers come in with their arrow out, they just throw it and take a new one. Is it compulsory or is it okay to let them shoot after we...
It's compulsory. So if you are doing a world ranking event, it's compulsory for them to come out and they then go in. You cannot have them do by their own. Now there is a difference, and I'm sure Carla will cover it. There is a difference between what we do in para versus what we do in able-bodied. Because para athletes stay on the shooting line, and we will talk about it in detail later, because para athletes stay on the shooting line during the matches, for them any yellow card violation is throw the arrow. So do not get confused between para and able-bodied. For able-bodied, you have to always come back and then go in. For para, they will throw the arrow out. Yes?
Okay, when I first shoot, when I come to shoot that arrow, when I remove, oh, this is my not good arrow, broken. You can change or
Yeah, I mean, I understand. So there is no violation. You have taken an arrow, it's a broken arrow. You can keep it in your quiver back or you can throw it away, but you are not violating it because you are not taking it out before moving the 1 meter line.
No, we don't have the third arrow. What we do, we take from front or
Ah, okay. Yeah.
we forget to take the spare arrow.
What do you do? So, okay, I will come to that. I will come to that a little bit later when we are talking about sequence. Any other question? No, right? All right.
What will happen with the arrow which is like the thrown arrows there on the ground only, right? So do we need to pick that only before like shooting all the 6 arrows, or like we can collect it afterwards?
Both are fine. There is no rule like you have to pick it up. Yeah, it's not an issue. So one of the thing that definitely did happen earlier also is one of the athletes had dropped by mistake one of the arrows on the shooting line. The match was going on and there was no violation of the crossing. The archer came out, the next archer went in properly, and the judge still gave a yellow card because they said like that's loaded or that's an active arrow which is lying on the shooting line. There is no such rule which gives us the authority to give a yellow card if an arrow is just like an arrow that fell down from a quiver is lying in front of the shooting line. There is no such concept of a loaded arrow which was said. So if the arrow has fallen down, let's say within the 3 meter line, it's an unshot arrow. We are not picking it up. We are not getting any time advantage. Yellow card is all about time advantage. Yes? Okay. Sorry. Moving on to the sequence part. The next thing that we definitely need to remember as line judges when we are doing a team match is there any violation? Someone shot some arrow outside of time. Now for individual matches, it's very easy. There's only one thing that can happen wrong, which is you are shooting out of your time, outside that 20 seconds. So we just need the red card, nothing else. But for team events, of course, the yellow card situation of crossing over, that's there. Similarly, we rotate between every team after the 3 arrows during the normal shoot. Or if it's a shoot off, then it's after every arrow that they're rotating. So if an team shoots more than the required number of arrows in one sequence, that's out of sequence. And that comes with a red card penalty, which needs to be informed to the target judge. Now, when we are saying out of sequence, there are 2 things to remember. One, you have 3 athletes. In target 1, A shot 1 arrow, B shot 2 arrow. As a DOS, you have seen 3 arrows has been shot for that team. Do you stop the match because team A has shot 3 arrows, or you continue with it? You have to continue with it unless and until all 3 athletes have shot 1 arrow at least. That means they have now 4 arrows in the first sequence. The athlete, let's say archer B, has shot 2 arrows in the first sequence. Then in the second sequence, it will only be archer A and archer C who will be shooting 1 arrow each. Yes? Let's assume a situation where the first team who is shooting have shot 1 arrow A, 1 arrow B. Archer C is not able to shoot his arrow for some reason. What is your opinion, or what will be your action as a line judge? Yes. So it's about, if you are not able to shoot an arrow, just to make sure you have an arrow considered, just throw an arrow beyond the 3 meter line, so it's considered as a shot arrow, and that helps the DOS to change the sequence. Now, let's think of a situation. It's a little bit complex. You have received a yellow card. This is your second rotation. The team did not follow the yellow card. They went and shot the arrow. The arrow was shot out of time. Again, You showed a yellow card, they did not respect the yellow card, they went ahead and shot the arrow. The arrow was shot out of time. What is your action as a judge? You show the red card once and then you apply 2 penalties. So 2 M's on the scorecard. The 2 highest arrow values are going to go out. Now, why is it important? Is as a line judge, when you are informing to the target judge, you need to ensure that you are informing them both the violations. You cannot just say target 1 red card, because if you say target 1 red card, the only thing they are going to do is take 1 arrow value. So in this case, you have to say target 1 red card, violation 1, yellow card violation, violation 2, shooting out of time. Making sense? Okay. Now, we covered it if there has been a red card scenario. Now that we have completed the first end with so many complications and so many yellow cards and so many red cards, the people down there, and you are now standing in the shooting line facing the target. As a judge, my actions are, I am seeing how the scoring is going. I can hear in my radio what the scorers are calling out as arrow values. It's not my job, of course, to look for the scoring, but as a precaution, I always tell my judges, what you are hearing, recheck, reconfirm, it's the same thing which is there in the digital scoreboard. As a judges, we are the second pair, as line judges, we are the second or third pair of eyes who are covering that. So ensure the numbers which are being called out by the scorer is rightly put in the digital scorecard. In parallel, I am also having a look at the runners who are running by the side after the second end, and they are bringing the arrows to the archers. So again, this is why I was forcing on this multitasking thing. Checking the digital scoreboard as well as checking for the runners and that the archers are getting their arrows. Both the things are being controlled by us. I check the scoreboard, let's say a 10-9-8 and a 9-9-9. All right, 27-27. Is it 27-27? Yes. Then someone from the results team says 6-4, let's say. And I see it should be 5-5. Everyone says confirm, but I see it's 5-5 on the results board. If the target and the line, if the target and the scoring judge or the scorer team are not highlighting this issue, and I as a judge see there's a difference in what is there in the digital scoreboard, I will intervene. I will say the scoreboard is not matching. Yes, scoring is not our job, agreed, but what's out there in the field of play that we can see is part of our duty. As line judges, we are responsible for the operation of the entire field. Making sense? Okay, cool. When are we going to start next then? After we have checked, the board has cleared off, we have ensured the scores are right for everyone. The clock, we are checking for the clock also, the right team, like let's say it's a 5-5, again, which pocket I have or which hand I have, it's in the right signal. If not, we radio the DOS. We have seen that the archers have received their arrows. We have seen the target and the agents and everyone is slowly clearing the field. Now I turn and say, target 1 shooting first, target 2 shooting second. And this is why I was saying from the second and onwards, it's definitely a good practice to do that, is because we ensure the archers are also very clear on that communication. Once we have done that, we turn, we show who is going to shoot first, look at the field, everything is clear. Sometimes what I have seen is there are camera guys who are trying to fix the cameras behind the target. You will not be able to see if there is someone standing. You don't see the face of the person, but look for the stands. How many legs of the stands are you seeing? Is there something which you did not see beforehand below the stands? Legs of people. Is there something odd that's standing out for you? Give a final look. Everything is clear. The target judges have cleared off. Now, when you are standing on the shooting line, sometimes the blinds are really far away. So ensure that the athletes, or the agents and the target judges have moved out of the safety zone at least before you give the start signal. Now everything is clear. Again, start shooting. The contact with the DOS, the nod, or at least the radio, something from the DOS that you have. And then again, we repeat that entire sequence. Yes? While doing it, if we end up with a situation for teams specifically where we have a tie and we have to alternate between every archer, the way I prefer doing it is 1 arrow, 1 arrow, 1 arrow, 1 arrow, 1 arrow, 1 arrow. If you say, oh, we alternate between every archer after they have shot 1 arrow, all the teams might not be very clear about English. We have seen a lot of problem, a lot of confusion with that. So the easiest option is 1 arrow, 1 arrow, 1 arrow, 1 arrow, 1 arrow, 1 arrow. Easy with clear fingers. So when you are telling them, they are able to understand. Even after doing that, we have seen when the match or the shoot-off starts, the same team will send their second athlete in again the moment the first archer has finished shooting. Pull them back, call them off. There is no problem in asking, hey, team A, or hey, target 1, come back. Making sense? Okay. Yeah, I think that's more or less it. Now once the finishing, okay, I did not have anything on the finishing of this. The last part of line judge is go stand in the shooting line, and when you have seen the winner, the final target judge's hands comes out, ensure that the hand is matching with the winner or the score of the set or the score of the end in the digital scoreboard. That's kind of a second round of check, and if you see it says 6-4 and the target judge says like this, target judge, target 1 is the winner. Just a reminder, that will tell them if they're sure, like no, target 2 is the winner, that will tell them they need to talk to the scoring team to ensure the digital scoreboard is set right. Yes? Now while we are doing that, half the time you will see the athletes behind you or the teams behind you have already celebrated, they have left. If they are going out, it's fine. If the marshal says keep them on the field, what I always do is after the end of the after the end of the last shooting, I tell them stay on the field, just like this. They understand they need to be there. If someone is still leaving, you don't need to, hey, come back, come back. You don't need to call them back from the exit point, but just ask them. The moment you are going there on the shooting line, just ask them, stay on the field, I will tell you when to leave. That's it. Hold the line, do the marshalling for the exit point. Make sense?
So like what is the reason for
Cameras. You don't want to show the empty field, that's it. Lines are all clear, right? Any questions? No? Okay. Now moving from one part of the field to the other, we are going towards the target judging side. The first and most important part as a target judge is, and specifically when you are doing compound at 50 meters, is ensuring that the field setup is right, the target face setup is right. you are shooting the previous match which happened. You had a shoot off, so there is just one target face in the center, but it's a team match, so you definitely need 2 faces. So the first thing that you need to ensure when you are there is you have your face setup correct, you have the score sheets available in the blind, you have your agents present with you, you have the runners ready. What we prefer to do is before the last match has finished, the agents, the score sheets and everything, the things which are not dependent on the field of play, we ensure those things are already set up and we already have those people with us. If the agents are not there, it's going to take time to find where the agents are. We need to radio it back to the chair or the marshal. So make sure whatever you can fix before the match, they are fixed. You have all that you need available with you. One of the things for the agents uniform. Check the uniform of the agents that they are in the same uniform as the team which is going to shoot. If not, there will be some bibs or some other t-shirts or jackets that they can use to ensure that it looks like they're representing the same team they're shooting, they're collecting the arrows for. Now, that's one part of the athletes. When we have said this and once we hear like, okay, target 1 is going to shoot first from the lines, we normally put a small dot on the scorecard over target 1 or target 2 to remember who started shooting first. And these are important because these are multiple points of checks that we have to avoid mistakes being done even by one judge. The moment I have it, I know if I see in the TV a different target has got the arrow, there is a out of sequence shooting that has happened. I can reach out to the target judge and say or ask, is there a out of sequence? Maybe that judge has forgotten to radio. It's a good check. We need to build checks for every manual action that we are having. Making sense? Right. Now, once we have heard who is going to start the shoot first, we have put a mark on the scorecard, and normally the way the setup will be is the scorer will be sitting in front of the television with agent 1 and agent 2 on their 2 sides, or agent 2 and agent 1 on their sides, depending where the blind is. And as a target judge, either I will be sitting behind or I will be standing up. There is no hard and fast rule. It's whatever you are comfortable with, you follow that setup. As a target judge, it's my duty to call out the scores. Target 1, 10, target 2, 9, target 1, 10, target 2, 10. And the agents will be verifying what I am calling out is what's there on the TV and is what's being written down by the scorer. It's the agent's job to ensure what we are writing down there is correct. It's why they are there. Means we will need to walk a lot. To save time, the way we arrange the blinds is, like for Paris, I remember, you were not in the blinds anytime, sorry. In Paris, the blinds were so far off that we used to stand up, go at the end or at the edge of the blind, and then line up in the sequence we wanted everyone to move forward at the targets. Now we are standing at the edge of the blinds because the blinds were behind the safety wall. So we were able to go stand up and be there. Now while we are standing, they're shooting 2 more arrows. The next target judge who is there, or the in charge of the blind who is there, the deputy, it will be his job to look at the last 2 arrow values and call out from the blinds. So before going to the blinds, you can write those scores while queuing up. Why we are doing this is because we want to save time. We want to expedite the entire process. The whole idea is when you are shooting the match, that's what you want to show in TV. The things of scoring, as fast as we can do it, When I say fast, it's not at the cost of accuracy. We are accurate, we follow the normal procedure, but we make it as fast as possible so that we can have good TV time. So we are standing up. The first one is the scoring judge. Not scoring judge, sorry, scorer. The first one is the scorer. The first one is the target judge, then the scorer, then the two agents. Sometimes you will have the scorer first, then the target judge, then the two agents. It depends on what's the field setup and how best you can move, because you might not have a platform big enough for many peoples to move all together. Then it becomes easier for the scorer to come first, stand in between the two targets, and that gives you the target judge and the two agents to come and do the scoring. So it depends on how much space you have for people to move around on the platform, by which we decide this sequence. Now, once we move to the target, once we move to the target, we follow the entire normal procedure of a judge. I call it 10-9-8. The agents check. If there is a line call, I take out my magnifying glass, look from both sides, give that arrow value. Now, while doing that, the scorer will be making sure they are making the scorecard visible to both the agents. And as a target judge, normally how I will go is 10-9-8, and I point to the 10-9-8 which is in the score sheet. While the score sheet is written, while the score sheet is written as the arrows have dropped, but when we are calling the arrow values, it's always higher to lower. So 10, maybe you will have to, if you have 6 arrows, maybe you will have to point which 10 you are talking about, which 9 you are talking about. So the agents also can see it and they are aware of it. There will be some arrows which will be marked with, there will be some arrows which will be marked with a star when you were writing them down because the lines were not clear. We always put the lower arrow value and mark with a star. Now once there, we just check with the magnifying glass what it is. Did we do the magnifying glass procedure?
Yes, we have done.
We have done? Okay. We haven't done, right? No. Okay. You use your magnifying glass, look from both sides, then take a step back, and I think I will have a picture. Yeah. Then take a step back, which was this middle one, and ensure you are clear from the angle of the camera. So the camera can see the arrow as well as your hands. This arrow is a 9, or this arrow is a 8. You don't need to make pointy fingers. You can just say this arrow, and the reason to ensure that it's this arrow and not this arrow is if I say this arrow is a 9, in the camera this does not make any difference, and the commentators who are doing the commentary from the camera, they have mistaken this arrow as the judge said it's a 9, but then he realized his mistake and he corrected it to an 8. We don't want that situation, and this has happened. I have seen it at World Cups. So this arrow is a 8 or this arrow is a 9. Horizontally point to the arrow and then vertical fingers going up or down. Make sense? Yep. Okay. Right. Sorry, questions? No. Okay. Now, once we have done, normally what we are doing is this arrow is a 8, 1, 2, 3. This arrow is a 9, 1, 2, 3. Some time for the camera to capture the motion that we are showing. It can't be like this arrow is an 8 and we are gone. It becomes difficult to identify that. Now, Once we have done that and the scores are completed, we tell the agents to draw the arrow, and as soon as they have finished drawing the arrows marking the target faces, they can move out. Sometimes the agents will hold, like they will be taking the arrows and they will be standing there. As a judge, I am free to tell them, hey, you can move, you can go. The correction that we need to do is, if we are changing the value of an arrow, we make sure we sign that, and we sign that over there, any kind of correction. Now, we have called the arrows, the agents are pulling the arrow. As a target judge, I will go towards the furthest point in the field, beyond the two targets, and I will be standing here. Now, this position is for as long as the match is going on, not for the last set. But till the last to last set, I will be standing to the furthest position outside of the two targets. Once it's done, the scorer calls the arrows and confirms the arrow values with the results team. In case if I hear there is a problem in communication because of the radio, I am free to jump in and speed up the process, use my radio to communicate and confirm the scores and all, and then move the scorer out. Confirmation of scores happens on the dial. So if I see the scorer moving out even before confirming the scores, hold them off. Let the agents go as soon as they have finished. Now, once the confirmation of score and everything is done, everyone moves out. I am the last person to go and ensure that the field is clear. I don't need to show any hands after every set. It's only after the match is over that we show who the winner is. Now, we are back in the blind after the first end. I have given the arrows back to the runners. The second set the shooting for the second set is on. The entire set runs the way it was supposed to run. When it's finished, or before it's finished, we again queue up. And from the second set, when we are queuing up, we get the runners ready to take the arrows back in the second end. Now, as soon as we have finished, the runners are gone. It's either the target judge or the person in charge of blind who will say, runners go back. That's part of our duty itself. Now, if I have received a red card when I was doing the scoring, I need to ensure I take care of that penalty while that scoring was in progress. So if someone has said target 1, red card, 2 violations, I take those scores off, I sign it off like we were doing it. Yesterday, Junji has covered a lot about the multiple phase scoring for compounds. If you have more phases, more arrows in a target phase than what you need, then those kind of penalties, what we need to apply, those things also needs to be handled by the target judge. And then finally, the last end. The last end is short. We go out there. We quickly have a call. Normally, you will see the athletes know about the scores. They will already be cheering unless and until it's a tied thing or something like that. They will be waiting for you, else they will be already cheering and they know, but that does not have any impact on us. We still have to do our job. We still have to confirm the scores because we are the official scorers, if I say it that way, for the event. Sorry. Yeah. So now let's say we are ending up in a situation where you have a 27, 27 and a 5-5. The thing that we need to first do, check the target faces. If you are doing compound, change the target faces to single target faces. If you are doing recurve, check for the X. Is the X still there? If the X is not there for one, change both the target faces. Never change just one target face. You are all set for the 1 arrow shoot off. Let's say it's individual. If the blinds are too far, we don't go back to the blind fully. We just go and stand towards the edge of the blind because we know within one arrow we will have to come back. So how we can expedite the process, we are always looking for that. Now, we have had the match, we have had the shoot off, we come back, we do the same process, 9-9 or 10-8. Okay, 10-8 is clear, but if it's 9-9, we do the caliper. You spoke about the caliper, or? Yes. You spoke about the caliper, okay. So the same process that Hussein had shared yesterday, how we measure using the caliper and all. The moment we are measuring with the caliper, we ensure that we are putting it in the scorecard. I think Junji also had highlighted that yesterday. Ensure you are signing the scorecard when you are getting involved in the scoring part. And then finally, as soon as possible, the moment I have the score or I have the result, if I say it that way, I come out and show the winner. Hold your hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds and then off. Please ensure, and that's why we had that question in stress test, if you have target 1 as a winner, whether it's your left arm or right arm, when we are talking with the scorer, target 1 is the winner. It stays with our left arm, but when we move towards the camera, it goes to the right, so it becomes target 2. Be aware of those small changes, small details. Now, if there was a tie, what I missed is this one. I think everyone knows it. So if it's a tie, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's a winner, 1 or 2, and then again 5 seconds, and then come back. The important point here is after completing this, we are not going to go towards the outside of the field, but this time we are going to go towards the inside of the field from where we were entering the podium, and all the agents, they will be busy taking off the arrows. We hold them back rather than letting them leave the podium. All signatures on the scorecard needs to be done before they go back. The whole reason why we have changed the process to include this in there is we have had situation where there are mistakes in addition of scores, and that has resulted in, after we are going to the blind, the agents are saying, oh, we don't agree to the score, we are not going to sign it and all. Just to avoid that situation, we hold them back on the field itself, we get the signatures done on the field itself, and then we leave. Now, while we are doing that, again, to expedite the process, the field crew will come in, they will be setting the targets for the next match. We don't need to keep the targets waiting. So while they are setting the targets for the next match and all introductions or anything is happening out there on the line, we are making sure we are finalizing the scores on the field itself. Clear on the process? Any questions?
I have a question. Say if there's any scoring issue, so as a target judge, you are basically asking us to come out of the camera range and then you will follow the process.
You are talking about the last end?
Yeah, the last.
So the last end, if there is any scoring issue or anything, we do the scoring corrections on the target itself. We have the scores. After the scoring is done, instead of going and standing on the further side, when the archers are pulling the arrows, we come and stand here because we don't want the agents to leave the podium and move out, but hold them here and make them sign the scorecard. The signing of the scorecard is what we are doing there. The corrections needs to be done when the shots have been shot, like when the scoring is done. So a 10 to a X or a 10 to a 8, those corrections are done there. But the signatures at the bottom, like we agree with the match winner, the signature of the agents, the signature of the scorers, that can be done over there.
Just assume that it happens to be the last shot that we are waiting, and the archer is of shooting one arrow, he shot two arrows, which is your consequence.
That's over there. I'm saying the signing of the scorecard, that we have the winner and we have the agent sign the scorecards and all, that we are doing on the side. If there's a penalty that we need to apply, we do it in the normal scoring process in the center itself.
And sir, do the judge need to sign off the scorecard?
If there is a tie and we have been involved in the shoot off, yes.
Only if we measure the shoot off, that
Irrespective of measurement.
irrespective of measurement,
Yes.
we have to
Yes.
sign off
Yes.
the scorecard.
Yes.
Thank you.
The finals also.
The finals.
The finals also.
Yes.
It is regarding the sign of the judge. Final matches, during the final matches, judge has to sign all the scorecards.
Yes, for the final matches where you have the scorer, they will be signing and then the judge will be signing. There will be a target judge signature with the timestamp.
And whereas during the simultaneous shooting, there the judge has to involve only during the time.
Yes.
Where the scores are equal.
Any other question? Nope. All right. Yeah, yeah.
The corrections in the value also the judge decided.
Corrections of the value, yes. 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 Yep. Any other question? Yes.
Sometimes the agent is coming with the other team, sometimes the assistance of the team. You know, he's shouting, saying, no, just get that line.
Okay. So, well, there are two parts to it. If agent does not agree with the line call, we don't have, if as a chair I see the arrow is a 9 clearly outside the line, I don't even need a magnifying glass. Whoever is in charge of the blind, the deputy or the chair, they can come in and say, I'm not saying they will use their magnifying glass to do a second line call. They can come and have a look. If it looks to be close to the line that needs a magnifying glass, they are not going to call it. But if they say it's a mistake, you did not want to call it a 10, but somehow it was a slip of your tongue and you said it's a 10 and he was not correcting it, we can definitely get involved as the chair or the deputy chair in charge of the blind to intervene in those processes. But if the agent says, no, it's a 10, you have to do a line call again and all that, sorry, it's a 10, done. Any other question?
So at the start you were saying that the target judges have to follow a few things, like making sure the agent is there, the runner is there. But whose duty is it to make sure that the archers get their arrows? Is it the target judge or somebody from the blind?
So it's going to be, essentially it's the target judge and the blind in charge, which will be your deputy chairperson or maybe the chairperson, whoever is in the blind. Essentially, we have always put it in the target judge because there were not many people previously, but now because we have a dedicated deputy person, so I mean deputy blind in charge who is we have a blind in charge who is the deputy, because we have a dedicated person over there. They will be coordinating all these things, but pushing the runners back or making sure the agents are there, it normally have been the duty of the target judge. But yes, the in charge of the blind, they can decide that they are going to be in charge of it and coordinate that. That's fine. Any further question? Nope. All right, we are good then. Yes.
In that arrow call, anything happened during the final matches, the target judge maybe mistake something on the arrow call and the archer's agent did not agree with the arrow value. Then who is the blind in charge, deputy or chair will be there, he can interfere.
It depends on what the problem is, because like he was saying, like it was a arrow value that they were calling against, like it's a 10. I don't accept a 9. in those cases, like I said, like, is it good for the deputy to interfere? No. If the agents say, no, we are not going to withdraw the arrow, to take the agents out, the deputy will need to step in, have a close look. If you see the arrow, I mean, when I say close look, I don't need to go there, you know, spend some time. I can have a very clear look at the target. If the arrow is like this much away from the 10 and they say like, hey, your judge is saying it's a 10, it's not a 10, it's a 9, I can correct it because it's clearly a gap. If it's close to the line and needs a magnifying glass to do that call, I'm definitely not going to do that call, and I'm like, one judge call, you have to move. So it depends again what kind of situation this is. I know with us, there was a problem in Thailand. I think it was Thailand or somewhere in the Asia Cup where we had that. The intervention that happened, yes, should not have happened, but the intervention was later on corrected as well with the results team. It was more to do with the line call as well as the measurements and all. So in case of measurements, if we see there is an issue with the caliper on the side of the caliper that was used to measure the distance from the center, right? As a chair or as a deputy, I mean, I know Hussein has done this earlier also in World Cup or Asia Cup? In World Cup. In World Cup, where he intervened and took the caliper and did the measurements by himself. So now, it's a very sensitive part because we have had this situation in Paris where the deputy intervened without any problem just because he thought or she thought the target judge is not confident enough to do it, and that led to bigger issues, bigger problems. As a deputy, and I know there's no deputies at this point in time sitting here, as a deputy, I need to trust my judges with the job I am giving them and let them perform that job without thinking they might make a mistake. If they make a mistake and I can see it glaringly, they are going to make that mistake, I can stop it. But I just had a feeling, oh, they did not seem confident to make that line call or the arrow distance measurement. I should not be jumping in and preventing that, because that also sends a wrong signal to the teams as well as in the TV that the judges who are there are not competent enough, hence they are needing intervention from outside to cross that. So it's a little gray, it's not a straightforward yes or no answer like whether the deputy should intervene or not. Yes.
Continue with the question on the wells. Is it possible for the deputy to communicate with the target judge?
Yes.
Using the walkie-talkie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Questions? No? Cool. All right.
When archer is, it's a chance for team A to shoot, and at the same time team B also enters, right? So at that time we are just calling them back. And when it is an individual match, we are stopping them to pull. But archer, if it is an individual match, so when it is an individual match, archer A is so at the same time he enters, so we are asking archer B to come back, right? And in the team event also we are asking them to come back. But at the same time, if archer A
Here, stop. Yeah, that much we can definitely do. Yes, there is that question on whether we are helping one team, whether we are being not fair to one team, and all that question lies there. But we have always believed that it's better to be a teacher to prevent situations from happening. if we can say, hey, stop, that's fine. After saying, hey, stop, if they still go ahead and shoot, their problem. If they don't hear us, their problem. But there's no problem in saying, hey, stop, not your time.